We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to episode 37 of Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. I'm your host Bison, and today I'm joined by the TNI-UK team of Simply Steve and the Joker. Hello chaps, how you both doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Steve, what about you, man?
Yeah, we're all good this end. Cheers, bud.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. I see you guys have been making waves with Wrestle Buddy this past week or so. So glad to see that's going on as well. I know that Joe, you've been joining them on the on their podcast and stuff, which is great. So I'm really, really excited. Actually, I think it's going to be, I think you're doing some good stuff there, and I love seeing your progress. I love seeing all the articles coming through. I'm very proud of you boys, so it's really good. So don't forget that, guys. WrestleBuddy.com. Joe and Steve are both doing some articles for that, which is great. So yeah, really excited for that. Really excited.
Got special one coming up this Slammiversary, hopefully.
Really
look forward to it.
Oh yes, the voting's nearly over, so special one coming.
Okay, good. So is that the Rosemary one?
Oh yes,
fantastic. What about Steve? What have you got coming up?
We've got one coming up regarding a variety of wrestlers who could sort of be, maybe just in my opinion, maybe just spinning their wheels a little.
Okay. Well, they could be doing more.
Just maybe feel like they're a little lost. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like, for example, maybe Moose.
possibly. You
yeah.
Maybe
just need that sort of character change, or just a change of direction.
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all good. So guys, keep a lookout for that. That's WrestleBuddy.com. Have we got? I'm not sure if we got many people joining us yet. Oh, looks like Lakers is in the house. Welcome, Lakers. And we've got Mir as well. Slowpoke is back. We haven't seen some of you boys for a couple of weeks, so it's great to see you guys back in the chat. Fantastic. Now, at this point, I would just like to ask if you could give us all a thumbs up right now. Give us a thumbs up. Get that completely out of the way, so it's all good. If you're new to the show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and then give the bell a little tickle. We like that. So hit subscribe, give the bell a tickle, then you never miss a listen or a watch of any of the great TNI UK and of course US teams. Absolutely super. There's loads of stuff in there, so make sure you get that done. Just another hello to Smash This Podcast. So that means that Mr. J Bone's in the house. So it's good to see him as well. Fantastic. Now we haven't got long now to Slammiversary, but one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to just get a special guest in for a few minutes today. You've heard all about her through myself. She did pop in and say hello to the boys at some point, so the boys know her. You know that she's a big fan of the show. She's a big fan of Daddy Bison. So I just thought I would bring in Boomer Bison.
Hi.
Hey, Boomer Bison.
Hello.
Show. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, you're looking cool. You look like you've got a bit of the J-bone going on there with the with the headband, looking super cool. Let's say hello to Joe.
How you doing?
Hi.
Yeah,
hello.
And we got Steve there as well. Remember Simply Steve?
Hi, Steve.
Hello, Boomer.
What T-shirt have you got on today? I know you're not wearing an Impact
I got my
t-shirt.
brother's old T-shirt.
What is it? Oh, look at that Rolling
Oh,
Stone.
the Rolling Stones.
Hey, I'll tell you, she is some cool boomer chick, isn't she? She is a cool chick, my daughter Boomer. So, absolutely superb to see Boomer on today. So tell me, Boomer Bison, what is your favorite wrestling show?
Impact.
Yeah, and do
Yeah.
you have a favorite wrestler on the Impact show?
Rose.
Rosemary?
Yeah.
Oh, she's a bit cool like you, actually, isn't she?
Mhm.
She is. She's definitely a bit cool. So it's great to have you on, Boomer Bison. And you've got a beautiful smile, as I'm sure everybody can say. So, do you have any questions for Boomer Bison, Joe?
Yeah. Apart from Rosemary, who's your favourite wrestler? Is anybody else? You a fan of Eddie Edwards or Cody Deaner?
No.
No,
Just Rosemary.
just Rosemary Bison, mate. It's just the two of us, isn't it, Boomer?
Mhm.
Nah.
How about you, Steve? You got anything for Boomer?
How long have you been watching Impact?
I just started last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just started, mate. So,
Well, hopefully many years to come.
Yeah, she's planning on coming to a couple of shows as well, aren't you?
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to them coming. Looking forward to Impact coming to the UK. You know, I've heard a little rumor that might happen.
Wants to know what other headbands have you got?
Yeah, have you got?
Trent
Trent wants to know if you've got any other headbands, Boomer.
No, but I did have a pink one, but I don't know where it went.
Oh no!
Maybe Daddy stole it.
I think Jay got it.
I must admit, I do love a good pink headband. I'm not going to lie. I do love a good pink headband, especially tying it round my wrist. You know, Johnny Swinger style. I do love that, because unfortunately, you might have noticed that Daddy Bison here has got quite a dome. So, you know, I do actually struggle to get the headbands to actually fit on my head. They're very tight. We end up with like the smallest knot at the back. You know what I mean? Like the tiniest little knot at the back. If I could even get them to fit, to be fair, even if I get them to
tie
fit.
two together.
Exactly. Yeah. I probably will. Yeah. We'll have to get a custom headband. We'll have to get a Bison headband. That'd be quite cool. Anyway, now don't forget, guys. Even when Boomer Bison is gone, we do need to watch our language, don't we?
Mhm.
We have to be careful.
Yeah.
We might have to get a swear box. Oh, hang on a minute.
We talked about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah. So apparently Trent would like to know, Boomer, if you're going to be a wrestler when you grow up.
No.
No, you are training to do karate at the moment, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that every Thursday, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you love it?
Oh,
I love it.
She does love it. She loves her karate. So who knows? Maybe in the future she could be the next the female version of TJP or something. You never know. You never know. No, she's definitely not going to be a Boomerella. All right, whatever you say, she's definitely not going to be a Boomerella. All right, let's not get into that one, slowpoke young man. But anyway, it's absolutely fantastic to have you on the show today, Boomer Bison. Maybe we can have you on again at some point. But yeah, lovely to see you. Take care, and I will see you when I get home.
Bye, Dad.
Bye.
bye.
Love
Thank
ya.
you very much.
Take care.
Take
Love
care.
you.
Bye. Well, there we go. There we go. I think that has to probably be the best guest appearance we've had so far to date. You know, don't even go there with the Boomerella stuff. Though you start going to it's just not happening, right? But anyway, yeah, fantastic to see Boomer Bison there. Yeah, real good. So, anyway, guys, you know, I think we should move on. I think that it's been a great it's been a great start to the show. It's been a great start to the show. I hope everyone was impressed with Boomer Bison there. Who knows? We may even see Son of Bison at some point. You know, and again, you know, he does like to watch these shows and stuff, so it's pretty cool. Right, okay, let's move on with the show. We've had a bit of fun there. That was pretty cool. Let's get on to some of the news and the rumors, boys. Now, rumors are gaining momentum at the moment. Now, I've noticed quite a lot of different things going around on socials. We've seen a couple of articles about it, but you know, we were talking about the inspiration last week, but the rumors are now starting to sort of kind of build momentum that there is, you know, the possibility that we might be seeing Mickie James as well. When we know that Chelsea Green has shown interest, but it's becoming a little bit more apparent, I think, that we may possibly see the inspiration Mickie James and Chelsea Green in the knockouts division. What are your thoughts on this, guys? What about you, Joe? I know that you're a massive knockouts fan, and you like Mickie James and Chelsea Green especially. So what are your thoughts on this?
I'm really excited. I'm this week on Impact Plus, they've even put one of Mickie James's matches up as the match of the week. So they're dropping hints and teasing the fans, or Mickie James is going to really come back and shock the world, and it's going to be good to see Chelsea Green come back again, because she had high praise for the knockouts division when she was there the first time, because Impact was the first place outside of Shimmer and Shine that gave her a chance to prove herself. And when she left with no hard feelings towards the company or anything. She's been praising them since. So it's good to see that there's still that good working relationship between Chelsea Green and the company.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, definitely.
And Santana Garrett is someone else who I'd love to see back as well. But I think she'll have a bit longer to wait, I'm not sure. But I think she was released the same time as Chelsea Green. So it's about just over 2 weeks, and then we could have Santana Garrett back as well. And that would be awesome.
That would be awesome, definitely. What about your thoughts, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, well, for me, when WWE released a lot of that handful of talent, Chelsea Green was one of the top that I thought would return. And to be honest, she's one that you've heard has had a lot of the contact with, I think D'Amore has been at the top, sort of having these contacts. So she's always been at the top, who I thought would come back. And I don't really see her going anywhere else, to be honest. Mickie James has flat out said that she is still an independent, she's still an independent contractor. So she's working for NWA, but she's not signed there yet. So I can still see her coming back as well. And if we get the I can't remember what were they called again?
The inspiration.
The inspiration. Yeah, I mean that's four talents there, and we know that we've got Killer Kelly waiting in the wings as well. So that's 5.
Yeah, I think we're going to see, once Slammiversary is done and dusted, I think we're going to see an insurgence in the knockouts division again, which is going to be great because, I think I still firmly believe that we're heading to a potential 1 hour knockouts only show, obviously being aired on Access TV at some point. Now, again, I don't know this for certain, but I sort of get the vibes, the way that they're kind of pushing the knockout division at the moment, that's something that's possibly in the works. I'm all for it. I think that would be amazing. It would also mean that you could potentially free up a little bit more time on the main show. So I'm not saying take the knockouts out of the show completely. I'm just saying that, maybe you could make it a little bit more kind of male heavy, and then and then you've got the 1 hour show for the knockouts as well. But it would just allow a little bit more time to build some more stories as well. But that way, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I would love to see a knockouts only show. You know what I mean? I would just love that. I think that would be a fantastic show. The talent that is on the knockouts roster proves it. That I think it could be in a really, really good show. So I think that would be great. But time will only tell. I just don't know. I think once they build in that, put it this way, for someone like Mickie James, even Chelsea Green, or the inspiration coming in, for people like that to come in, even Ruby Riott has been rumored as well. Even if people like that come in.
She is partnered with Jake something, isn't she?
Exactly. So if these people are looking to come in, some of the selling of being a part of the knockouts could be that they're looking to do a show, solely dedicated to knockouts, which would be fantastic. Mickie James would be all for that. Yes, we know that she's got something going on with NWA at the moment, but she's not contracted to the NWA.
No.
Yeah, it could just be a one-off.
Exactly. She's just working with them at the moment to do this, this sort of kind of one-off all-female pay-per-view, which I think will be fantastic. And I'm definitely looking forward to watching that as well. And again, maybe Mickie coming into Impact could be a way of some of the Impact talents going over to perform at this particular all-female pay-per-view. There's loads of reasons why Mickie could be coming to Impact Wrestling.
And I mean, what she's doing in NWA, could you imagine her and Gail Kim running the Knockouts division?
Oh yeah.
Yes, please. That'd be awesome.
And of course, we have also noticed that Jazz, obviously, this past week returned to Impact as well. And she's
heavily involved with the NWA already.
Exactly. Yeah. So, that we obviously are starting to get some bridges. Bridges are starting to be built.
Have said that Billy Corgan will never open that bridge again, but maybe it is happening.
I totally agree with you, Lakers. Yeah, if I wanted to watch paint dry, then I'd bring in Magnus. You're right. But anyway, I definitely would love to see Mickie James back on the Knockouts roster. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. And again, like I said, could this happen? Is this something in the works? I don't know, but my opinion is I think it is. So that said, talking about sort of kind of like more kind of shows or different things like that, or behind the scenes stuff going on, maybe stuff that would inspire someone like Mickie James to get involved with Impact. There's been recently, I think it came out yesterday, that Sanjay Dutt is decided off his own back to leave his position as a producer at the WWE. Now, I believe that his role was with 205. Now, am I right in thinking his role was with 205? It was. Yes. Now, if that's the case, then, and we've seen quite a lot of the lighter weight wrestlers being let go more recently, there is rumors that 205 is going to be basically dropped. Could it be he sort of kind of decided to leave before they basically got rid of his role within the company? But for me, I think, someone like Sanjay clearly now has got some great producer experience. Someone like that would be fantastic now, I think, to come back and get involved with Impact Wrestling. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Steve?
Well, we saw when the whole GFW angle sort of happened, he took on a producer role back then, and there was a good uplift even back then when he was in a producer role. There were because it was going through a tough time, but some of the sort of things that were going on, I think it was around the X division that he was producing. And some, because I think he also had a little bit of a hand in some of the sort of undead sort of storylines, or no, the broken storylines.
Right. Okay.
But some of the he was kind of basically head producer at that time, and he did have a good mind, because I think it was him and Abyss, and you could see that given the time, he definitely had something. So yeah, given the current creatives, I mean, if him and Abyss worked well, imagine him and Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, you're right. Him and Jimmy would be pretty cool, definitely. So what about you, Joe? What about you, Joe? What are your thoughts?
First of all, kudos to Sanjay Dutt for everything he's done to begin with. It's not been an easy decision to choose to step away from WWE, but 205 is most likely going out of their spectrum now. So all the stars in that are possibly either going to go to SmackDown or go to NXT, or possibly get let go, which is going to be a bit of a shame. And same with the production team and all the camera crew and that. So Sanjay Dutt going now is just the smartest thing really for him and for for him, really, it's just is the black and white of it all. I'd love to see him back in Impact Wrestling. He could do something similar to what Daivari's doing. He could be a producer, come back and wrestle 1 or 2 big matches. Like Daivari's done, like Tommy Dreamer's done, like Petey Williams is doing. They're all producers and in backstage roles as well. But something that is like Steve said, he's got a really, really good creative mind. And him and Jimmy Jacobs, him with Gail Kim, or him with Tommy Dreamer, they could really, really chain together a lot of storylines and really, really push for a lot of things, because he was awesome on commentary. I really enjoyed him on commentary with Josh Matthews. So if like Max Striker had to go away again, he'd be great. It'd be great to come back on commentary with D'Lo Brown. Yeah,
definitely. I'm all for it. I think Sanjay has probably made the best decision for him, and it would be great to see him come back to Impact, and even if, like you say, it could be an on-screen role, it could be in commentary, but certainly would be good for a behind-the-scenes role, definitely, and help sort of kind of bolster that team that they've got there at the moment, which is doing a great job. But you can always bring in more people to do just as good a job. I'm just letting everybody know I've actually got, I don't know if you noticed, but my voice is going a little bit, so it might sound a bit croaky. So just bear with it. You're probably happy to hear that my voice is going a bit. I don't know, but anyway, that then moves us on. That there was an announcement, I think either yesterday or today, with regards to the pre-order for the Slammiversary 2021 DVD. If you haven't, if you're into DVDs, I don't collect the DVDs, to be honest with you. I generally quite happy with the Impact Plus app. Most of it's on there, so it's all good for me. But I do know that a lot of people do like to order the DVDs, keep them in their collection. If that's your thing, then the pre-order is available now. So get in there and pre-order your Slammiversary 2021 DVD right now. There you go. That's my selling done. Done all of that. That's good. So are you into the DVDs and stuff, Joe or Steve?
I am. Yeah, I've got pretty much all of. Although I tailed off when they stopped doing them monthly. I can't, and then sort of had that period where they weren't doing them. And then I sort of need to get back into ordering them again. But yeah, I think up until sort of around 2007, like 18, I've got all of them.
Yeah, I love the fact that there's people in the there's people in the chat. They're like, "What's a DVD?" Like, all right. I don't know if they might have them in Blu-rays. What about Blu-rays? Do they have Blu-rays? I don't know. No,
I've got them all on video.
Yeah,
I'm back in further.
I've still got some Betamaxes flying around somewhere. Do you remember Betamax, boys? But,
they're on floppy disks somewhere.
A couple of floppy disks. Yeah. What was it? What did they used to call? What was it they called the one where they had? It's like before tapes. It was like a little thing that you just slap. You put in. Oh, I've forgotten what it was called.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like 4-track or something.
Yeah.
There was something like that. But anyway, there was loads of them. And of course, records.
Yeah.
I mean, vinyls.
Vinyls come back, isn't it?
Oh, vinyl's coming back in a big way. My brother actually sent me a present in the post a couple of weeks ago because I used to have a massive record collection, and when we moved a couple of years, well, we've moved a few times. in one of the moves, that's it, 8-track. In one of the moves that we've made a couple of moves back, I ended up losing my record collection. I got no idea where it was. I was looking for it this time, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was talking to my brother, so I'm absolutely gutted. You know, I had some like first edition Michael Jackson Off the Wall and all sorts of stuff on vinyl. And then last week, all of a sudden, I get a delivery, and my brother's been online and bought me a couple of albums. Like I think he bought me Michael Jackson's Thriller and a couple of other ones as well, which I thought was really nice. Yeah, thank you for that, bruv. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to start my record collection again, I think. So that would be quite cool. But it's a big thing again now, isn't it? Loads of people are really starting to collect vinyl again, aren't they?
Yeah. Not me. I don't have the room for it.
Not you. Not the Joker.
No.
Bless.
There's,
Oh, look,
there's
even Mark.
all that empty space, just no room for anything.
Look, even Mark had an 8-track as a kid. Look, his first one was Christopher Cross. Never heard of him. Who the hell's that? But anyway, all good. Moving away from what is a DVD, one of the posts I posed a question on the socials earlier this week, and it's because they've obviously they've really picking up on the whole the draw being the anti-hero, the hero we need. So I'm posing the question today, boys. Right? I want to know, Joe, Steve, anyone in the chat. I want to know: is the draw the hero we need? What are your thoughts on that one? Joe seems to have gone. What's happened? What the hell?
Yes.
No.
Oh, is there? No.
Are you there?
Okay.
Are you there? That was the weirdest freeze frame I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Joe, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. The draw is the hero we need. It was one of the guys I got up for one of the things I had up for vote. Sami Callihan is not the hero we want. It's the hero we need, and he's currently trailing second behind Rosemary. There's still time to get him to beat Rosemary, but Sami Callihan is the hero we definitely need for Impact Wrestling, and it will be something I'll be writing about in the near future too. But yes, definitely Sami Callihan is the guy we need to, Omega and Don Callis, they have to go now. So no disrespect to Don Callis, but their time has come. And we don't want to drag it on for too long.
What about you, Steve? What about you?
Yeah, I'm in the sort of I feel that this is the perfect time for it. Callihan is definitely the one that you feel everything's lined up for it to win, but I do have that feeling in the back of my stomach that they're gonna he's gonna there's something more that they want to add to this story.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm not sure it's going to happen at Slam, but I love the way that they're building this whole sort of kind of anti-hero thing. I think it's great, and it looks like the chat are definitely going crazy for the Death Machine right now.
I do get this feeling that he's got the belt like in AEW, in AAA, in Impact. Are they going to take him to Japan and get the belt in Japan?
Really? You think?
Well, he's got every other one.
Yeah, well, maybe there is that option. I don't know. One thing I think with regards to the way that the New Japan relationship is working, it's sort of kind of very different, isn't it? The way that they're working, they've obviously, they're not really in storyline, are they? They're not really in storyline. It's just sort of kind of like you get. Well, I think we could certainly say that the storyline at the moment is Kenny Omega, the belt collector and all the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, you might be right. Who knows? I mean, it might be just the fact that at the moment, they can't actually go to Japan to fight any of the Japanese talents. Who knows? That might come up at a later date. But I don't know. I'm not sure on it, but we just have to see. I agree. I think I would love to see Sami as the world champion. I really would. Yeah,
I guess the other downside is that if Callihan doesn't win it, they've then got to drag it on for another 3 months.
Yeah, definitely. But again, there is the possibility they could drag it on until Bound for Glory, and then maybe Moose wins it there, or again. Maybe that they could drag it on to Hard to Kill possibly, so that Moose wins it at the point of at the start of 2022 to carry it forward in 2022. Maybe the storyline for 2021 is this. Who knows? But it's interesting. I mean, I still say it. I think it would be good to see Sami win at Slammiversary. Go all the way through, win again at Bound for Glory, and then lose it to Moose in 2022 at Hard to Kill. There is, I don't know. For me, I think that would be good because it would give Sami that little bit of a run that he didn't get the first time.
Sami needs what Deonna has had in the knockouts.
Yes, damn right.
You think? I mean, he loses too much. in my opinion, to be able to carry it for that long. And that's the trouble. And I mean, I know that Sami is, you know, he's the team player, and if he feels that him losing to a talent is the right decision, that's what he'll do. He's not selfish. He's not selfish in that respect. So, but the trouble is with that is that then gives you such a, you know, like if he was to suddenly go on some sort of kind of like winning streak and destroying everybody, it would be kind of weird because, you know, at the end of the day, he's lost so much over, do you know what I mean? Over the past 12 months, 18 months or so, he's lost so much. If you suddenly put him on a winning streak of about like 10, 15 matches, it would be, I don't know, it'd just be a little bit weird. For me, it'd be a little bit weird. Even though I'd love to see that, I just feel he loses too much for him to then go on some crazy I'm going to beat everybody run with a world title like Deanna's done. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. I'd like to know what everybody else's thoughts are, you know, on Sami, you like in the sense of how much he loses, and whether that he could then go on and potentially sort of you know, have a long run as an Impact World, you know, with the Impact World title. I don't know. Be interested to hear everybody's thoughts on that. I'd just like to say hello to SC Williams. I've never seen you in the chat before, so just a nice little shout out there to you. I'd like to also say hello to Jeff because I obviously welcome back because I don't think you were around last week, so that's nice. But I think you're new. Let us know where you're from, SC, and what does SC stand for? Ooh, that's interesting. What do you think? Stone Cold Williams? Do you reckon? Something like that? I don't know. It could be. So I'm interested to know where you're from, fella. Let us know. Or say fella. It could be a girl. I don't know. But nice to see you joining us today. That'd be great. And again, Mir's still in there, so that's good. And we've got Mark and Lakers, so that's all lovely. Now there is some big news for our UK audience. There you go. Sami Callihan Williams. You're right. It could be. So the big news for the UK audience has to be that there's a Pluto TV deal come to light. Now it's going to be available in the UK and other European countries, which I think is fantastic. There was a little bit of a thing where people were unsure whether this was a paid service, but I believe it's not. I believe it is free. It's a free app, and it's obviously available on most smart TVs. I believe it's also available on PlayStation and stuff like that as well. So again, another outlet for the UK fans to be able to access Impact original content, I believe. I'm not sure whether it's the weekly show. I need to look into it a little bit more. But what are your thoughts on this, guys?
It's fantastic news. It's going across Pluto in the UK and across France, Germany, and pretty much the entire a lot of Europe. So Impact's now pretty much reached every point of the globe now. It's already made a strong presence in Australia and Africa and India. The only places it really needs to benchmark itself now is China and Japan. But it's in Canada, Mexico, I'm not sure about South America, but Europe. So the majority of where the wrestling audience is covered now. So they really need to just concrete something down with Japan and China. And then they've got just as much, if not more, coverage than WWE has.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I mean, I am aware that they have got huge coverage. So I think it's great news. I'm hoping that the UK fan base sort of start taking this up. They need to get promoting it in, you know, on the UK scene. Let's get people involved. Let's let them know that it's a free service because, you know, again, like we've done before previously, they've sort of kind of like mentioned this, that, and the other, but they've never really clarified stuff. Now I think what they need to do is really clarify it, make it very obvious exactly, you know, what this service is, what they can expect to get from it. You know, just to sort of kind of, you know, take it from there, really. So, you know, it's interesting to see, you know, what they do now. You know, I'm going to say, Simon Rosting, you need to get it out there, boy. Get it out there. Let the UK audience know exactly how they can access Pluto TV. You know what they're going to get on Pluto TV, when it's going to air. You know what content, etc. Let's get it out there. Let's get the UK fan base understanding exactly what it is.
Got more chances to get more eyes on it now.
Exactly. And one thing I think is, you know, they're obviously looking at how they can expand into Europe and obviously the UK market, which traditionally has been a huge market for Impact Wrestling TNA, massive market. So, you know, it's interesting. I'm going to say SE or Steve. Do you say your name was Steve? If you save that question for the end, I'll give you an explanation. All right. So wait to the end when we do a little Q&A and I'll give you an answer. Okay. So, yeah, so it's you know, it's interesting where this is going to lead, but you know, let's let everybody know in the UK, Pluto TV, you know, let's get it. It's an app. Get your it's on smart TVs. You can get it on. I'm pretty sure you can get it on PlayStation and other avenues as well. So it's definitely worth checking out. Now the other thing was that there's been a recent interview where Deonna, and I know Joe, you're a massive fan of this. Cody Deonna has. You know, basically said he'd love to face Eddie Edwards one-on-one. We know that he obviously faced Eddie in a tag match last week. He's stating he'd love to see, you know, face Eddie one-on-one. To him, it's sort of almost a personal dream match. I got to say, I would imagine that any wrestler that wrestles on the Impact roster that hasn't actually had a one-on-one match with Eddie Edwards would want that. You know, because he's just one of the best wrestlers on the planet. So what an opportunity that would be for anybody. It's interesting that Deonna's been around for like 15, 20 years. He's been the Cody Deonna character now for what? I don't know, 8, 10 years, something like that. You know, the fact that he's now changed his character as well to the character that he is at the moment. I know that he, you know, I know that he basically said that, you know, he was a bit scared to change his character, and when he shaved his head, it was like, oh my god, what have I done? All this kind of stuff. But I think it's worked out really, really well. I think Deonna is doing some of his best character work. I mean, his in-ring has always been his in-ring. He's always been fantastic in the ring. I love watching Deonna matches. He's a great in-ring guy. But I think that he is just really sort of kind of smashing it at the moment as part of Violent by Design. What are your thoughts on this, Joe?
Oh, I've sent a message out to Eddie Edwards and to Cody Deonna saying, if this match goes ahead, then you guys have got to save me a seat, because I would love to see this. Deonna and Eddie Edwards are two guys that really helped me through last year. So to see these guys go one-on-one would be awesome. I would love to see that happen.
Definitely. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was I couldn't believe that these two had never faced in a match one-on-one. I was shocked
as well when I read that. I was like, oh my god, really?
Yeah.
And then if you remember, there was a segment in the tag match last week where it was literally Eddie and Cody, and the combination stuff that they were doing, it was really, really good. I have to say, I think a one-on-one Eddie Edwards, Cody Deonna match, as he is now, would be take my money now. As far as
I'd like to see, like, I'd say give it another 6 months, and I'd like to see Deonna like built up a little more, you know, character-wise, because he's still in that he's still in that sort of transition mode where he's still kind of like the take the pin and kind of like the underdog kind of character, but hopefully in a few more months we'll see him kind of grow up and become on an even level with Rhino and Doring. And then if he gets to that point, then by God, you know, he can go, you know, you can believe he can go toe to toe, you know, with Eddie.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I just think it would be a really, really good match. But you're right. Maybe his character needs to build up a little bit more sort of kind of ruthless aggression from him would be really, really good. So Steve is saying, check out on Twitter. We've got a match for Eddie Edwards. I don't know if that's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one.
Is that for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a bit. So Yeah, so I mean, I'd like to see that, and I think it's great to see when you see a wrestler who's sort of kind of been in that same character role for such a long time, do something new, and then sort of kind of it work for them, and it's definitely
Yeah.
working for him at the moment. Like I say, we can just build on a little bit more. I think, yeah, you're right, but I think it'd be one hell of a match, and I definitely take my money on that one. Now, rumors are also flying around that Ring of Honor could be next to be on the open the forbidden door. Now, I don't know what your thoughts are on this one. Do you think when it comes to the forbidden door, are we talking just Ring of Honor AEW, or are they going to be part of the whole kind of Impact, AAA, AEW, New Japan thing? I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Steve?
Well, we've been thinking this ever since we saw EC3 go over there around sort of like just like October last year, weren't we?
We were talking about it.
Yeah, but Ring of Honor for quite some time have always just been doing their own thing. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just sort of watch this space and see what happens, really.
I think so. I mean, we've definitely been seeing a little bit more kind of interactions. I know that Eddie Kingston has mentioned from AEW has mentioned that he would be interested in doing some stuff with Ring of Honor if the Forbidden Door was open. I think it would be cool because there's definitely some guys on the Ring of Honor roster that I'd like to see turn up on Impact. Again, your Jonathan Grishams would be good. Again, EC3 coming back would be good. Jay Lethal, I'd love to see Jay Lethal back in an Impact ring. His woo off was with Ric Flair is one of my favorite things ever. Woo! Loved it. And of course, you've also got the what's the tag team over there as well that are like been around forever. The Briscoes, there you go, the Briscoe brothers. I'd like to see them get involved as well on Impact. They would be cool, definitely. They'd be very cool. But again, who knows? Who knows? EC3, coming back, getting involved with Moose again. Who knows? There could be there's all sorts of stuff that could happen, but definitely Jonathan Grisham would be someone I'd love to see. I know that in the past he's donned the suicide costume.
Yeah, I think he's done it for a couple of one night onlys, didn't he?
Yeah. So it's not like him. He personally has never been in an Impact ring. So, but it'd be nice to see him come in as the foundation or whatever it is that he's doing at the moment. I think that would be quite cool. So yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see where that one goes. I mean, I'm not saying that the rumors are really, really solid, but there has been a few things that have sort of kind of popped up recently that I thought was interesting and worth a mention. And the other thing as well I wanted to talk about was with regards to this past week on Impact, where we started to see are we starting to see like a power struggle storyline between Tommy Dreamer, Scott D'Amore, and Don Callis? This was something that I thought I was sort of kind of watching it, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, you've got Don going to Tommy, sort of, no hard feelings, brother. We then get this match set up with this whole sort of Tommy versus Don thing. We then get to hear that at some point that Tommy's now a consultant, with regards to keeping an eye, almost like he's there to keep an eye on Scott D'Amore. That type of feel about that promo. Scott was kind of like, what? He wasn't happy about that at all. So, do you think that we're possibly seeing maybe some kind of power struggle storyline between the three? Or I don't know, what are your thoughts on this, Joe? Or is this or am I just like making this crap up in my head?
One thing I can say for certain is this isn't going to result in Don Callis versus Tommy Dreamer at Slammiversary, as someone speculated.
Yeah,
that's a dead cert. What I see it's just continuing on the power struggle between Don Callis and Scott D'Amore. Don Callis is still trying to weasel his way into manipulating Tommy Dreamer. You know, he tried to get Tommy Dreamer into this 6-man match against Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers this week, but instead it turns out Chris Sabin's in there. So all it is Don Callis still trying to make Scott D'Amore look weak. He's trying to break Scott D'Amore down and try and get Scott D'Amore to get Scott D'Amore fired. And so then it's like Tommy Dreamer is the one left in charge of the company, and the whole company's going to go to pot because it's just one man in charge. Because Don Callis was the guy that fixes everything. Yeah, that's the way I see this whole story. Yeah, that's how I see this whole story going. And
okay,
I don't think it's going to be. We're not going to see like Scott D'Amore versus Tommy Dreamer, and we're definitely not going to see Don Callis versus Tommy Dreamer.
No, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that at all. I mean, I know that's been flying around. I know there's a certain guy that seems to think something stupid like that's going to happen. I can't see it. I'll be very surprised. What about you, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when we first saw the interactions between Scott and Don, I was like, please don't let this go into a power struggle, mainly because we've seen it so many times before, and especially throughout the years previously in TNA, like there's been power struggle after power struggle, and when there's a power struggle, that becomes the main focus of the show, and really the focus of the show is over two authority figures, really, not over the wrestlers. And really, I'd never liked the power struggle angle, but when it became between Don and Tommy, I kind of felt like, okay, I can deal with this a bit more because Tommy isn't technically yet an authority figure. He's kind of fighting as an in-between. But if it's going to be between the three of them, I think it's going to get messy again. You know,
I think you're right.
I'm just going to say I don't like it. Although I do think they missed a trick with the Team Callis versus Team Dreamer, because they had Team Dreamer and they had Moose and Callihan. Wouldn't it have been great to have Edwards in there? He's got a connection with Dreamer, he's got a connection with Moose, and he's got a connection with Callihan.
Yeah, you can see this match is going to fall flat on its face because Moose is just going to take out Chris Sabin and walk out or something like that. That's the biggest downside to everything at the moment now. Is Chris Sabin and Moose are just going to beat the hell out of each other, and Kenya, and it's going to be Sami Callihan versus three people basically. That's the only downside I can see from the way this has been set up. But Eddie Edwards and Kojima, they're building up to something else. I think they're building up to a match at Slammiversary. I know they've got their match this week, but if you guys saw that promo that after the match last week when Morrissey'd come out, I think it's building up towards Morrissey getting involved. So it's going to push back Eddie Edwards and Kojima to Slammiversary, where I've asked them both to try and get it booked for several times, and both of them have given the thumbs up. You know, so it's like, yeah, we'll see what we can do. And
you know, it would be interesting.
It's a great way to put Morrissey over as well as they build it up, because then I can see Morrissey and the Good Brothers taking on Rich Swann and Willie Mack and Tommy Dreamer. If Dreamer is forced into Slammiversary, that's where I see Dreamer's appearance at Slammiversary going, because I think TJP and Fallah Bahh are going to be the next guys to go for the tag titles unless they do a multi-team match.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah. So do I. In fact, we'll get to talk about that in a second. And the other thing I wanted to talk about before we sort of kind of get into tomorrow's stuff is obviously we're seeing Deonna now break away from Kimber Lee. So we get to talk about her match in a minute. Kimber Lee and obviously Susan. That was
professional wrestling right now.
Yeah, the professional wrestling comment was fantastic. But what I want to say was, is it not a little bit coincidental that Deanna's sort of kind of complete attitude change and character change is coinciding with Steve Macklin? Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh no, blah blah blah. She's doing her own thing, blah blah blah. Now I get that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that she's now sort of kind of formed an alliance with Steve Macklin or anything like that. I'm just saying that it seems very coincidental that her entire persona, attitude towards, you know, friends or whatever, is completely changed, right? Like literally over 2 shows, basically. That, you know, she's suddenly become this brutal thing. Now I'm starting to think that, you know, is there some kind of connection between her and Macklin now? You know, are they working? Is there going to be some kind of thing where they work together? You know, who knows? I don't know. But all I know is I just feel that she's started to really sort of kind of, I don't know. Her persona literally has changed overnight, hasn't it?
Well, everyone's cramping her style, and you know, we know she's got the big attitude, and she's had that since she won the Knockouts title back.
But she just seems to have got really mean.
Yeah, now that nasty, that meanness we've been waiting for a long time has finally come through, and it's just come through at a coincidental moment. But do I see her and Macklin working together in the future? In a very long run, like they did with Taya Valkyrie and Johnny Impact, possibly, but I don't see it being such a close connection. It might just be something similar to what we got with Cross and Scarlett on NXT. Is it where, although Deonna Purrazzo will be wrestling matches, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, yeah. It would be nice to see, you know, yeah, definitely. I don't know. I just think, you know, if she can get the gimmick right. The pairing of her and Steve could be pretty
I
badass.
I didn't even really notice it until you then said. I mean, the last couple of matches with like Susan and Kimber, you did notice Deonna kind of getting like, oh god, they lost again. So for me, it felt a little more organic, unlike a baiting like years of friendship and then turn overnight.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, for me, I see it going to Slammiversary, and then because they've been teasing, like Deonna especially, they've been teasing kind of bringing Chelsea Green in and then teasing them, teaming them two up. I see that as to where that's going.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it'd be interesting. Yeah. Now, I am actually interested in where SC Williams is from. He's telling me I've got the AC. He's telling me it's hot. Well, you know, I'm in the UK, brother. Trust me, it ain't hot. So if you're somewhere in the UK and it's hot, you need to let me know because I'll be on my way. It's definitely not hot here. But anyway, so okay, that's interesting because, you know, obviously I wanted to end on that because that takes us quite nicely into tomorrow night. Now, obviously we've got the BTI match, the special match on BTI, which is Kimber Lee versus Deonna Purrazzo. So last week on Impact we had her versus Susan, which created the nice, you know, the funniest moment of the night with the whole "coming professional wrestle me" comment, which everybody loved. It broke the internet. I loved it. I thought it was great as well. And now we're going to get her versus Kimber. Now I think we're certainly going to get a very different match because for me, Kimberly is probably one of the most underrated female, you know, knockouts there is on the roster. So, you know, bottom line is this: I think this is going to be a great match to watch, and you need to make sure, guys, that if you're in the UK, get on YouTube from 1 o'clock to make sure you watch this before Impact Wrestling, and if you're not, then make sure you watch BTI because, you know, it really is. I think this is going to be an absolute, you know, as JR would say, an absolute slobber knocker of a match. You know, and it won't be quite as easy for Deonna this one as it was last week. What are your thoughts on this match, Joe?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's good for Kimber Lee. She's going to benefit more than anybody else because she needs another match to really showcase what she can do. And if you guys seen her Twitter feed recently, some of the death matches she's been in,
yeah, you know, she's a badass, mate.
Yeah,
people
forget how much of a badass she is, and but Impact Wrestling hasn't had a lot of hardcore matches for her to go into. But a good, strong technical wrestling match like this is on BTI. You know, we know that the matches in there will go for a good 10-15 minutes, which is more than enough time for what Kimber Lee needs to really put Deonna Purrazzo through her paces. So this is going to be a great match for her, and it's a great match to kick off the whole night as well. So it's, I was hoping it might have been on the night, it's the main card. Looking at it now, where it would go on the main card would probably be the first match or the second to last match, so where there's no commercial breaks. But then it would also like not fit in with the rest of the tone of the night. So BTI was the best place for it, and BTI is the right place for it, because you're going to see a good match pretty much end to end with no breaks in.
Yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. What about you, Steve? What do you think on this one?
Yeah, like you say, you know, Kimber will definitely give Deonna a far better match, and I'm intrigued.
No shoes for start off.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm intrigued in the end of this match, because I can really see, like, later, you know, in time, Kimber kind of really having a good year now that she's broken away from Deonna. So watching sort of what happens to Kimber after this match, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, no, you're right, actually, because I mean, obviously she's. I mean, I'm gonna say obviously she's not gonna win the match, because obviously Deonna is the best, and she is the current Knockouts champion. Or could it be, as this isn't a Knockouts match, it's a grudge match? Imagine if Kimber wins.
I hope so. I mean, it'd be nice to see a different person have their arms raised in a Deonna Purrazzo match.
Yeah, I don't feel like Kimber is in the right place to sort of challenge yet. But does sort of Deonna either maybe beat her down too much that she then sort of walks away and sort of think like something needs to change, like Moose did with Swan, or does it case of like, I don't know, she just like, it's going to be interesting to watch her either way. You know, the ending of this match, I feel, is going to be, I mean, nothing might not happen, but
yeah.
I get what you're saying, though. What you're saying is that, you know, if she does lose, if Kimber loses, then obviously it'd be interesting to see where her character goes from here. Because obviously Deonna, I mean, at the end of the day, now she's faced him in the ring, the friendship's obviously done. There's no friendship now. So, you know, is Susan going to be by her side? I assume so. But what's interesting is that, you know, at the moment, if they don't have a championship match in mind, or there isn't someone to come in and do like an open championship challenge or something, if they're looking to build to something, could you imagine if Deonna loses in a non-title match to Kimber Lee? You know, that then opens up the opportunity for Kimber Lee to then say, well, maybe I should have a title match at Slammiversary.
Yeah, it could be just before Slammiversary when they can introduce the mystery opponent. Then, you know, it doesn't have to be bang on Slammiversary, but it's a good way to prop up Kimber Lee, and it's a good way to prop up Deonna Purrazzo if it happens that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I think it would be good. I mean, she could beat her, but not for the title. So that means that she keeps the title, which is obviously what we're expecting. But then obviously that can then carry forward to, you know, have some sort of kind of rivalry build there then over the next couple of weeks leading into Slammiversary. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of, you know, potential there to maybe create something. I don't know. But again, you know, people are mentioning in the chat, you know, maybe Killer Kelly can turn up, or Taylor Wilde. I mean, we know that when she came back, she said that she's coming for that title. So who knows? That could be something that they're looking for.
Is there any news on like what the reason is she's been away for this reason?
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe she wasn't able to make the set of tapings leading up to Slammiversary. I don't think we're going to see Taylor now until the next set, which would be after Slammiversary.
Yeah.
Or we might even see her turn up at Slammiversary, as that's a live event, you know, for that weekend. But it would be great because, you know, Taylor Wilde is incredible. And, you know, one of my favorite all-time knockouts. So I'm so happy to see her back. And I want to see Dark Taylor. You know, we've talked about this. You know, she was sort of kind of lining herself with Decay and Havoc, wasn't she? The last time we saw her. So, you know, and some of the photos she's been releasing on Twitter recently as well have all been quite dark as opposed to the
they
bright
changed her picture on the Impact website as well.
Yeah, they've done quite a lot. So I can see that, when she comes back, it's going to be a slightly different version of her as well. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now, obviously, once we get this match over and done with, that then leads us nicely into tomorrow night's Impact. Now, we've got 3 matches that are currently advertised. Now,
4,
is there 4 now? Now, obviously, when I put my stuff together, there was only 3.
3, 4. Oh, I've got 5, I think.
We've got 5 now.
2, 3, 4. Oh no, 4.
There was 4 on the BTI match.
Yeah, 4 on the BTI match. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that the Eddie Edwards one that's been added then?
Yeah, Eddie Edwards versus Kojima.
Okay, so they've added that one in. Okay, that's going to be interesting. So that's the match that they were looking to make last week, or on the promos where what's his name, William Morrissey got involved.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Okay. So I think we can safely say William Morrissey's probably going to get involved in that match, right?
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome match. So I can't wait for this.
Hopefully, if they get to actually do it, it might be a case of they get William Morrissey involved in that one to sort of like kind of hold it off for Slammiversary.
Yeah, I can see it still getting pushed back, but I still want to see these two guys go at it for at least 5 minutes before it gets pushed back.
It would be good to give you a proper teaser of what it could be.
Yeah,
definitely. So, what are your thoughts on this one then, Steve?
Yeah, like for me, when it was announced, I was like, oh, okay, this is a bit because I didn't think about it before I looked at it. I was like, oh, okay, 1 minute they're challenging for the tag titles and now they're facing each other. And then I sort of thought about it. I was like, oh, okay, now it makes a bit more sense. But yeah, straight away it kind of took a moment to set in. They 1 minute they're teaming and now they're facing each other.
Well, it's because they had this. It's one of those whole respect matches, isn't it? It's it's an up and coming strong style wrestler versus the the legend Japanese strong style legend. It's all like for Eddie, it's almost like a dream match, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how this one has been sold. So I'm looking forward to it. My voice is getting worse, isn't it? I keep hearing it cracking. But anyway, So that's going to be an interesting match for sure. We've also got Chris Bay versus P.T. Williams. Now, again, this one is interesting because obviously this past week on Impact, we had the whole sort of Chris Bay was, wanting to stay out of all the politics and all the bullshit and the taking sides and all that kind of stuff. Let them all fight amongst themselves and I'll just come in calmly and take the title. That kind of attitude. P.T.'s like, I've been around this business for 18 years or whatever it is, and I've seen it all. I've been in teams and I've done this and I've tried to stay out of it and none of it's never worked. In the end, you'll pick a side, and then obviously we've then got this match announced. So all I know is you've got P.T. Williams, who is an absolute X Division legend, who we know is still got it all the way, against the up and coming X Division style wrestler in Chris Bay. I personally think this is probably going to be one of the best matches. It's probably going to be it could be the best match on the card, frankly. I'm actually really looking forward to this one. What are your thoughts on this one, Joe?
Oh, we all have a bit of pie near PT. So I'm looking forward to this match. It's going to be good to see Chris Bay 1-on-1 again, because the majority of his appearances recently have been in multi-man matches. So it's good to see Bay in his element again. And Pete Williams is the perfect guy to pit him against at the moment. It doesn't damage all the main contenders for the X Division title at the Ultimate X, because we know, as much as I'd love it to be Pete Williams to walk out with the title and then face Josh Alexander, it might Josh Alexander win and Pete Williams, it most likely is going to be going to somebody else. And because Chris Bay's been taking the back seat, now I'm starting to think if anyone's going to win the title, it's going to be Chris Bay rather than Trey Miguel. And those two have got a rivalry brewing still, which is now put aside, but those two have still got a rivalry brewing. So there's a lot more coming into the X Division that's ready to boil over as soon as the Slammiversary is over. So yeah, it's all like Pete Williams said, if you don't pick a side is going to pick you. And all the sides of everything, all the sides of the Chris Bay's past are going to come back to get him. All the sides of the face side and the heel side are going to come back to get Chris Bay. So a lot of things are going to come back to get Chris Bay.
Yep.
Like
It's definitely going to be Thursday night Impact, if you ask me.
yeah.
What about you, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, and I like, because I want to say like 2-3 months ago, before Bay got injured, he was probably in line to have a push at the X division, weren't he? So you do wonder, Bay's position come a couple of months, a few weeks time in at Slammiversary, and what could happen. But this story with Bay picking a side is very interesting in this match. I just get the feeling that there's going to be interference either in the match or maybe after, and you can see Bay walking off again. It won't be till the 11th hour, if at all, he picks a side.
I just don't. I think he's not going to pick a side. I'm going to say that now. I don't think he will.
No, I don't see him choosing sides, but I do see him doing what Steve said. Just still managing to dodge another bullet.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be right on that one. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay,
and I mean, we've had Josh as champ, and to be honest, he's been one of those sort of champs that's pretty much, I'll kind of near enough walk alone and fight my own fight. So Bay's probably thinking, well, he's done it, why can't I?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm still there with Joe on this one though, because I'd like to see, like, I desperately wanted to see Petey Williams win something and get another title shot, because I honestly believe that a Petey Williams versus Josh Alexander would be absolutely off the chain. I'd love to see that. I really, really would love to see that match. So who knows? Like you say, who knows? The good thing about an Ultimate X match or any of these kind of multi-man matches is that generally everyone gets a good bit of offense in. Nobody generally looks weak.
What I would say, if it's not going to be Bay, I feel like it should be Trey. I mean, he's come back again and still hasn't really kind of got anywhere.
Time, mate, isn't it? It's time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I personally see I see Trey more heading towards the world championship scene myself. The only problem you've got with that is because he's small. Again, you get the same stuff that you got with Rich Swann. He's too small to be a world champion. I don't get that, but I can see where people are coming from. Right? For me, to me, size doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we know, like Bruce Lee was one of the badasses that ever walked the fucking world, right? Ever walked this earth. Bruce Lee was a badass. The dude was 5'7", right? Yeah. You know what I mean? And he could kick the ass out of most people. So in reality, that is a fact. Okay, so did size matter with him? No, it didn't. So it shouldn't really matter in wrestling either, should it?
No.
It's just people's perception that because this dude is 7 foot, that a guy that's 5'10", can't beat him. But actually, they if they get a good flourish in, they can. Of course, they can. It's you got to remember, power versus speed. If you don't get hit, right? If you know what I mean, like just stay out of the way. And then get your offense in, and you can win. Simple as that. So it's like
Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards has just accepted Cody Dean's challenge.
Ooh.
There we go. So when will that be, though?
Not sure yet, but if you guys can somehow see it on my phone, well, you can't. But Eddie Edwards has. If you go onto Twitter, he's just tweeted out, "Let's do it. I'll give you the old Kobashi into the Al Snow." Into the Misawi, into the Akiyami again.
All right, okay. Yeah. No idea what that. But that's fantastic. I'm really, I'm really excited to see that now. I think that's going to be a great match. So
maybe we could get Eddie and Dino at Slam, and then Doring and Rhino defend the tag titles.
Ooh, yeah, maybe. I'm looking forward to finding out, because I know one thing: tomorrow night we'll certainly get a couple of more matches added. I think I'm pretty certain of that. Now that leads us quite nicely talking about Doring and maybe Rhino. Facing somebody. We've got TJP and Fala Bar versus, TJP and Fala. We're taking away the bar at the moment, so it's just Fala versus Swan and Mac. Now, we know that Swan and Mac are a great tag team. We also know that TJP and Fala Bar are also a fantastic tag team. So, at the end of the day, everything points to this being an incredible match. All I got to say is I'm excited. I'm not 100% sure who's going to win this one, but I have a feeling it's going to be TJP and Fala.
Yeah,
I think that's the team that they're pushing to be the next challengers, I think. So, but what are your thoughts on this one, Steve?
Yeah, I agree with you. And you sort of saying about match of the night, I feel like this one could be match of the night.
It's definitely a contender.
It's got TJP and Rich Swann, and those two guys always steal the show whenever they're in a match. So
and Willie Mack is no slouch, is he? And
no.
I feel like when Fowler teams with TJ, he steps his game up too. But yeah, I feel like it's a bit weird that it's sort of Swan and Mack have just kind of appeared out of nowhere after what they were going through with Morrissey. And yeah, they kind of just said, we'll take you on, and sort of it kind of appears out of nowhere. But
to be fair, Steve, all of this happens at Swingers Palace, right? We all know that you enter Swingers Palace, you come out in a match.
Yeah, there's nothing saying Morrissey doesn't come out and take out Swan and Mac after the match as well,
making it a three-way. Could be.
Could be.
There's nothing saying that Morrissey doesn't get involved with Rich Swann and Willie Mack after the match or prior to the match or anything like that. Because Rich Swann mentioned him when he was wishing Eddie Edwards and Kojima good luck. So, and then Morrissey went to confront Eddie Edwards and Kojima. Yeah, so Morrissey's got all four of those guys in his sight, basically. Yeah. And
as Zach Bonifer has just said, that Swan and Mac don't have a great win record lately, do they? So they do need to be built up again. So yeah, it does have to be TJ and Fowler, I feel, even though Fowler's win record lately isn't great.
No, exactly. I don't know. I just feel there's no point in putting TJ and Fowler back together again in the way that they have, and they've been very positive with them, to then basically have them lose. And to be fair, I think TJP and Fowler, just before the pandemic, we're being pushed to potentially take that title and run with it for a while. So I don't know. It's interesting. Again, we've revisited two really good tag teams that we had previously that never really got going. I guess you could say they never really got going.
Rich Swann got injured sadly, and TJP and Fowler just fell foul of the pandemic.
Yeah, it just fell. Yeah, they just fell foul, and TJP then ended up on an X Division run, didn't they? So, again, I don't know. I'm just not sure where this one's going to go. I'm very torn on it because I'd like to see both teams come out on top in this one. I won't be upset if Swan or Mac wins. I certainly won't be upset if TJ or Fowler wins. I'm really not sure, but I don't know. Interesting. Yeah. And
I think Swan and Mac just need that little bit longer.
I give them more time.
Definitely.
Give them till Battle for Glory and then see what happens then.
Definitely. And Hakeem, it does look like we've got the same hairstyle this week. Joe, have you had a haircut, mate?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. You don't? Do you have it bit? Do you have it? I get the old proper full-on shaver on it.
Yeah. I just get
you're on a 1. That's a 1, mate. That's a 1. I'm a 0. Right. I'm serious shine.
I'm balding in places as well, though.
I'm Mr. Sheen. That's who I am, Mr. Sheen. But anyway, lovely to see Hakeem in the chat today, actually. And don't forget to go and check out his latest article. I think it's interesting facts about Slammiversary 2018. So definitely worth going and checking that one out, guys.
Definitely.
And good to see Zach Bonifer's in the house. Welcome, welcome to the chat, boy. Welcome. Nice to see you. So yeah, everything seems to be buzzing quite nicely today, doesn't it? Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. Right. Okay. So heading on to the final match, which I'm assuming is the headlining match. We've got the Team Callis versus Team Dreamer. Kenny the Good Brothers versus Sami, Sabin, and Moose. Now, I this is going to be a shenanigans. I think this is going to be shenanigans. What are your thoughts on this one, Joe?
I think it's going to be chaos as we can expect. I mentioned it earlier. I think Sabin and Moose are going to end up falling out with each other and fighting it out with each other, and then Sami Callihan's going to be left 3-on-1. So he's going to get pissed off and go after Tommy Dreamer, take it out on Tommy
for picking bad people. Like seriously, yeah. What? I know that Steve's got a lot on this one, so can you give us the watered down version, maybe? Steve, you there?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm saying I know that you've got a lot. I know that you could talk for quite some time on this one. So is there any chance you can give us the shorter version? Straight to the point version.
I mean, it's fantasy booking. I think it would be great if we had Sabin pin Omega. I think that would be fantastic. Those two going at it would be, proper TNA original going out, pinning the world champ, the AEW and Impact World Champion. That would be a real moment.
That would be interesting, actually. Yeah.
That would be puppy jump.
Like I said, I don't think it'll happen.
I'm just going to quickly answer Hakeem on this one. Do you know what? I've purposely avoided that because I know that lots of people have got some crazy opinions on it. So I've decided to purposely leave that one out and talk about other things. But I definitely, it's a. I think all three of us.
Don't get me started on that.
Exactly. I think we all know our thoughts. We all know thoughts on this one. And to be honest with you, I just don't need a Trent running right now. I really don't. But I think I don't know. I just think that there's so much in that. I think for me, I didn't have an issue with the segment. I just thought it was too long. If it was a little bit shorter, I don't think it would have been too bad. But anyway, like I said, I don't want Trent in here starting. We've only got about 10 minutes left, so we don't need that taking over the show. Because I don't want to have to kick his ass. Anyway, Steve, carry on.
Yeah, but no, I say like that would be my dream booking. But I I agree with Joe that I think there's going to be falling outs like with Moose and Sabin are going to struggle getting on, and you're probably going to have Sabin take the pin, and I think it's going to. I'd like to see one of the Good Brothers get the pin because they've taken a lot of pins lately, but you're probably going to have Omega get it.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I don't know. I think one thing I do think would be really, really cool. You're right. I think it would be cool if someone like if Sabin pinned Omega, that would be the shock of the night, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's why I was really hoping he'd win it under Siege, because then that would give that would be like a great match for Against All Odds, and it would prolong the story. Further, wouldn't it?
Do you know what? Right, I tell you what. This is the thing. So we've got Moose versus Sabin at Slammiversary. I mean, that's set in stone. That's a match, right?
Yeah.
But this is the thing. If Sabin pinned Omega, right, then actually that would give credibility to Sabin versus Moose, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting. there's so many ways these things can go. He
Yeah.
sounds so cute, Joe. You need to pick him up so everyone can see him.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
tricky thing.
I'll-
The tricky thing, obviously, is you got to get AEW to sign off on it.
Oh yeah, of
Try
course.
not to-
And,
don't
you know,
know,
like, that's
I mean,
not going to happen.
right.
And
We
obviously,
have.
while he's still holding the AEW championship, their champion is still getting pinned as well, isn't he?
Yeah, no, exactly. There he is. There's Puppy Sammy.
Yep, this
Hey.
is Sammy.
Who ever knew that Sammy would be so cute? Hey, who ever knew it? It's a shame he ain't got a little goatee, isn't it? It'd be
Oh,
cool
no,
if he
he's
had a
got-
little goatee.
No, he's got a little patch instead, aren't you?
Hello, Unfiltered Chaos. Thanks for joining us. Unfortunately, buddy, we're getting right near the end of the show. But there you go. No, I'm not going to shoot on Trent. Trent. At the end of the day, Trent is the boss.
No,
And I'm a nice guy. Obviously, Trent likes to shoot on me and all the rest of it. But bottom line is, I'm just too good for that kind
don't
of.
shoot the wire.
I'm just too good for it. I got no need to do that. But anyway, guys, now
That's right. The dog left on his own.
So now I'm just going to answer the question. Now, somebody asked me a question: why am I called Bison? Hey, why am I called Bison? Okay,
I've wanted this too.
Well, okay, this goes back probably about 10 years now. I used to play. I would say play. We used to have like a little backyard wrestling kind of group that we had, and because I'm from Bristol and I'm a big chap, I got the moniker of the Bristolian Bison. My friend, who is unfortunately now passed away, R.O.B. buddy, was called the Southern Tugboat. He was also a big lad as well. He was called the Southern Tugboat. And then my friend Dave, he was called the Tomlin Tornado. His name was Dave Tomlin, so he was called the Tomlin Tornado. So there was the three of us, and we had a very big trampoline, and we used to pretend to be wrestlers. And yeah, he was actually Tomlin Tornado. It was pretty quick, and I'll tell you what he did. He had one hell of a drop kick on him. I've got a photograph of Dave doing an incredible drop kick on me. So, but there you go. And also, I have my friend Steve as well. He was involved. In it. He didn't have a name, Steve, but he was pretty good. He was the boy that I used to like throwing around. Did a couple of F9s, cut the power bombs. It was I used to like
Bison
throwing them
bombs.
around. Bison bombs. So that was back in the day. He was definitely 100% pure beefalo, that's for sure. But there you go. That's the reason I have the name Bison. Lord Bison was actually given to me by Trent, I believe. Pretty sure Trent nicknamed me Lord Bison. I don't know why. And then that just sort of stuck for a little while. And then my wife decided to actually buy me a part of an estate up north somewhere for Father's Day. And I am actually now officially a Lord. And my wife, I am actually officially a Lord. I own a piece of land in Norfolk somewhere, and I am officially a Lord of the Manor. So there you go, and that's a fact. I've actually got a certificate. I can put it on my passport that I am Lord of the Manor. I could do it all. I am officially a Lord, so I'm not lying. All right, so it's all good. But I generally go. I think Bison's probably better. Just go by Bison, that's fine. But we all have our nicknames, I mean, years ago when I was a teenager, everyone used to call me Stone Cold because I was a massive Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. That's why, back in the day. But there you go. So, we all get our little nicknames, and so that's why I'm called Bison. That was pretty much it, because I think we're pretty much out of time, lads. We're pretty much out of time. So,
Just
but what
no,
I do want to say is, please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon. Also, make sure you watch tomorrow night's TNI flagship Impact Live review directly after the show. I believe they're doing a watch along as well, so make sure you get involved in that on Twitch and of course on YouTube. All TNI shows are available for all you to listen to on the go. Fans of audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. Joe, stop being a pussy. What's the matter with you?
You hit my bloody finger.
So wherever you listen to your favorite shows, you can find us. So Joe at the moment is currently being attacked by Sami. What would you expect? He's got to be attacked by Sami, isn't he? Let's face it. But Joe, where can we find you on the socials, my friend? Where can we find you?
Once I stop giggling, you can find me at J. You can find me at Joe-ker empty space on Twitter. Go on. I'll leave it
and
there.
Wrestle Buddy. You can also find him on Wrestle Buddy. Is he biting your nuts or something? What's going on? Where can we find you, Steve, brother?
You can find me at Simply Steve 311 over on Twitter, where I put everything Impact Wrestling related. And if you fancy reading any Impact Wrestling articles, you can go over to WrestleBuddy.com and then click on the Impact Wrestling header, and then I put them up there every Thursday. So yeah, if Thursday pops up, then have a look.
Good day to do it. And of course, we've got some articles coming up from Joe as well. So that's good. If you're looking to find out the Bison, you can find me at Lord Bison 45 on Twitter. Don't forget, it was great. I just want to say a huge thank you to Boomer Bison for joining us earlier on at the start. Boomer Bison was on.
Okay,
and,
Boomer.
Giving us a little insight. So it was great to have her on. And who knows, maybe she'll pop on again at some point. Who knows? But anyway, please take the time to give us a thumbs up. It's really important to us that you give us a thumbs up. That helps us appear on other people's lines. Don't forget to share the show. Let everybody know if you like it. Give us a thumbs up. Share the show so that everybody else can see what you see. And don't forget, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. It's really important. You hit that subscribe. I know from analytics that there's a lot of people that watch the show that aren't necessarily subscribed. So hit that subscribe button. Yeah. Then give the bell a little tickle. That's it. And then you'll never miss any of the great content from TNI-UK and the US teams that come out each and every week. So I think that's it. And again, like I said, thank you to Boomer Bison for joining us earlier on today. There is a possibility we may have a special guest next week, but watch this space. You never know. With that said, I've been Bison. They have been Simply Steve and the Joker. We must mention Sami, the Joker and Puppy Sami. And this has been episode 37 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
We're Bison! We are Impacted!